Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Eagle Pass Independent School District regular meeting. I'm glad everybody's here. I'm glad to see you all. Thank you for being here. And it is Tuesday, the 11th, 2022, January 11th, 2022. It is our first meeting of the new year. Happy New Year's to everyone. And we call this meeting to order. We will first go to the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Mijares, will you lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Oh boy. Thank you, Mr. Mijares. Now we will go to the roll call. Ms. Lepi Martinez will be here shortly. Dr. Hector Alvarez, Secretary, present. Ms. Glenna Purcell, Trustee, present. Ms. Lupita Fuentes, Trustee, present, because I just saw her. Mr. Christopher Hiller, Trustee, present. Mr. Victor E. Perry, Trustee, present. Mr. Samuel Mijares, Superintendent of Schools, present. Mr. Richard Stryber, Attorney, present. And myself, Jorge Barrera, present. We will now move to citizens' communications and recognitions. Number one, students, administration, staff, and superintendent of the Eagle Pass Independent School District recognize the school board in accordance with the School Board Recognition Month. Mr. Mijares.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have this is School Board Month, so thank you for everything you do every day. We have Daniela here with the presentation.
Good evening, Mr. President, distinguished members of the board, and of course, Superintendent Mijares. Thank you for allowing me to spend some time with you this evening. Our first recognition for tonight will be to recognize the hardest working school board in the state of Texas, our very own EPISD Board of Trustees. In honor of January being School Board Recognition Month, school board members are recognized for being volunteers who spend long hours working to ensure that all of our students have the opportunity to learn and grow. They serve as a link between the community and classroom, and because of all that you do, EPISD continues to blossom and prove to be fruitful. Thank you, EPISD Board of Trustees. We will continue to rise with you by our side. And now we have a short video presentation. You told me to hit play. Did you know that there are 7.7 billion people on our planet? Of those people, 329.5 million are in the United States, 29 million in the state of Texas, 13,570 students in our district, 7 members on our board of trustees, but only 1 Eagle Pass ISD family. Thank you, Board of Trustees, because all that you do does not go unnoticed. Because of you, Eagle Pass ISD continues to prove that they are the #1 place to be for college readiness and preparation for the future. Thank you, Board of Trustees, for showing us all how to rise above everything. The view from up here sure does look great. will now begin our recognition of each board member. Up first, we invite our president, Mr. Jorge Barrera, to come forward to be recognized by his campuses, Kennedy Hall, Serna Elementary, Eagle Pass Junior High, and CC Wynn High School. Thank you, Mr. Diaz. You get the big one at the end, sir. Up next, we have Mrs. Hilda P. Martinez, School Board Vice President, being recognized by her campuses, ECC, Nellie Mae Glass Elementary, Sam Houston Elementary, and Eagle Pass High School. And now we have Dr. Hector Alvarez, School Board Secretary, recognized by his campuses, Rosita Valley Literacy Academy, Dena Kelso Graves Elementary, Henry B. Gonzalez Elementary, and Ray H. Dar Elementary. Up next, Miss Lupita Fuentes, recognized by her campuses, the Language Development Center, Benavides Heights Elementary, Juan Seguin Elementary, and Liberty Elementary. Up next, Mrs. Glenna Purcell, recognized by her campuses, Maud Maid Kirchner Elementary, P. Gallego Elementary, and CC1 High School. Up next, we have Mr. Christopher Hiller and his campuses, Rosita Valley Elementary, Perfecto Mancha Elementary, Seco Mines Elementary, and Eagle Pass High School. And rounding out our Board of Trustees, we have Mr. Victor Perry, recognized by his campuses DAEP, San Luis Elementary, and Memorial Junior High. At this time, I would like everyone to please join me in a big round of applause for, like I said, the best Board of Trustees in the state of Texas. Give it up for your Eagle Pass ISD Board of Trustees.
Thank you all. And of course, you all make us look really good, so thank you all. Number 2, recognition of Seco Mines Elementary for being selected as the most clean and maintained campus for the month of December 2021.
Inspections have been conducted on a daily and weekly basis on how well EPISD school grounds have been maintained. There have been visitations to not only school campuses, but district buildings as well. This month's recommendation goes out to Seco Mines Elementary on their merits for an outstanding job on maintaining the school grounds clean and safe. Thanks to the hard work and dedication from the miners, the school achieved a total score of 65 out of 65, the perfect score. Congratulations, miners, on your campus beautification. We invite the board and Mr. Mijares to come forward for a photo with Mr. Felon and the giant check.
With it being board month, anybody have anything to say or any words?
I will, Mr. President. Just to reiterate what everybody here is thinking, that we want to just thank you guys. Like what Mr. President said, you guys do make us look good, but I think we all make a good team together. We can't always get it right, but what you can see is that we try. We try our best. It's been very difficult the past year and a half, past 2 years, to try to get it right, where nobody knows exactly what right is. But I can honestly tell you, the people that I have sitting here next to me are some of the most genuine people I've ever known. Not only that, I'm honored to be working side by side with them. They're part of the community, and they've given their time to take this endeavor upon us, and it's been nothing but blessings in our lives too, because it's not a thankless job. We see it in the eyes of the kids. We see it in where their successes come upon. I mean, I've lived it myself with my own children, and I know the rest of us have too. They go off to college, and they're really prepared. And it's not, because of one person or two people. It's because of all of us, and it goes from the superintendent on down to every single person. But with one person missing in that equation, it can throw everything off. So it's real important just to keep that in mind, that we may not always get it right as administration, as staff, teachers, school board, superintendent. We may not always get it right, but ténganlo por seguro que eso es lo que queremos, to try to get as close to right as possible. And that I can, like I told you, I'm like super proud of the people that I'm with. It makes each and every person makes the other person's job that much easier. What they bring to the table, how the board is so diverse when there's a topic to come up into play. And I know a lot of you guys, you don't know what goes on sometimes in closed sessions or whatnot, but it really is like a beautifully orchestrated play, or it's like one person will come in with some ideas, the next will just pop in with theirs. Sometimes a person's ideas might get rejected, but then the reason comes behind that, and we wait for our turn to make sure that we try to give as much of an input as possible. And that's the way things work back there. I know it's not always been like that, but it's like that now. And I'm very happy for that. I wish that for that to continue for as long as possible. That's why a lot of us have been here for X amount of years, because of those satisfactions and sometimes the ease of working with one another. But it definitely is just it doesn't work with everybody being on the same page. So I just wanted to really go out there and tell you guys that what happens sometimes behind closed doors, and it really is a blessing of what we have right now. And hopefully God will keep on blessing us and the district for many years to come, and to get through all of these hard times together. But I know that we will be working together with each and every one of you guys. And thank you very much for this recognition. So.
Thank you, Doc. Very well said. Go ahead.
I just want to thank all of y'all for your hard work. I know it's been very trying, and it's not over yet. We're still in the middle of the trial, and Just hang in there. It'll come, the end will come, and we will be better for the hard work we've put into it. Thank you again.
Hello. First, I'd like to apologize for being late. My pharmacy's still open, and I still need to take care of all of our customers, which is a lot of you, a lot of our districts. So I apologize for being late. But this is the most important month of the year. I miss the kiddos. So that's real hard for us. But thank you all for having them back. It's very emotional for all of us because we really, really, truly cherish what y'all do. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you all for keeping them in school. It makes a huge difference. And I think that we are so grateful for everything that you do. So y'all make us, like Doc said, y'all make us look great. Thank you.
Chris or Victor, anything?
Thank you. I just want to say that it's truly an honor to serve the students, the staff, and the administration of this district. And I'm privileged, and it's an absolute honor and pleasure to be here before you all. Thank you.
You know, just it's hard to believe that it's been 6 years since we've been up here, or I've been up here, and never envisioned of the whole works of the school board, and let alone not only that, but now you throw this COVID issue into the mix. And there's one thing I've seen firsthand that, you know, I think is something that a lot of people don't see, and I just think the resiliency of the district, and my hat's off to administrators and teachers and for, you know, doing a very well job. I mean, we get to see it firsthand, which a lot of people don't, but I thank you for, like the way George says, you make us look, our job look easy, but we just thank you, and we're grateful.
Thank you.
I didn't want to say anything. You all have to know how much I love, you know, what I do on this board. I've been here since 2003, so definitely I love, you know, representing, being someone who can speak, you know, on your behalf, being someone who can be there for the community, for our students. And I am a witness to what Dr. Alvarez and what everybody has said. But Dr. Alvarez is saying, you know, that we have such a wonderful board, you know, who works together and who is so sincere and so honest and trying to do the best, making the best decisions, you know, that we can make for the benefit of all of you and for our school district, for our students, for our parents. Rest assured, you know, that we all fight to do what is right for all of you. We have the support of our administration. They are out there, you know, trying to do the best that they can, you know, our superintendent. You know, but more than anything today, you know, I want to say thank you. Thank you for, you know, what you do for our students. Thank you for, you know, for just overall keeping our district together. I truly, truly see the hard work that our principals and our IOs and our teachers and all our school district staff, you know, has put forward, you know, as far as you know, keeping it all together. And of course, our board members, you know, for always being there and always trying to do the best that they possibly can, you know, to continue, you know, representing our district the best way possible. So thank you so much. I have to say that I do love all of you. Thank you.
Please thank your staffs for us tomorrow. Okay, moving on to district reports and presentations. We will take 1 through 4, financial report, utility report, tax collection report, and review investments officer's quarterly report of investment transactions for all funds for the quarter ended November 30, 2021. Mr. Mijares? ¿Cómo vamos?
Testing? Okay. Yes, if you look on your agenda, good evening, and look on your agenda, and if you go to page 39 of your agenda, this is just a brief update. Page 39. I'm starting to have to use glasses. There you have the M&O fund as you see it in front of you. The audit was already approved and submitted to TA. And you see the first column there on the M&O. You see we started the year, when you go to the bottom of the first column, you see that the beginning balance was 17.4 million for the M&O. We had a surplus of 34.3 million. So our fund balance did go up to $51.7 million, okay? So this is a done deal already. Brief update, we have expenditures here for the first 4 months. And after 4 months, we should be more or less at 33% on expenditures. As you see here, we're at about 30%, so we're doing good with expenditures. On the other side of the token, which are the revenues, we got from PEMS the first semester. We're already done with the first semester, which is 6 weeks. We have 6 weeks, we're in the middle, and we already have the figures. They're a little lower than we had anticipated on the attendance, the ADA, the average daily attendance. Our attendance rate has gone down from 97% to about 92%. So it's about a 5% decrease there in attendance. And we continue to have that. So 5% equates to about 662 ADAs. So we're losing more money on the attendance than on the enrollment, on the decrease of the enrollment. The decrease in enrollment is 520. So when you add that up, we're gonna have a reduction of 1,182 so far for the first semester. Dollar-wise, what does that equate to dollar-wise? That's about $9 million reduction in state funding. Now, our fund balance did go up quite a bit, as we did go over that. So we do have a balance, and we are doing cost-saving measures as we speak for the whole year. So we should pretty much be able to make up most of that $9 million because of the way that we're handling our expenditures and the initiatives that we have. So we should be pretty much making up that. So I don't anticipate having a deficit for this year, but we do need to be aware, like we were talking right now, the COVID has hit us in every district in the state of Texas and in the United States. So that's what's happening to our enrollment. We still have 6 weeks. We have the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. I met this morning with the PIMS director and Mr. Camarillo. We're looking at the numbers. They'll be meeting with all the directors, hopefully by next week or short after that, right, Mr. Camarillo, just to make sure we have all the figures, or that we've looked at everything. But that's the way that looks, and that's just the way that that things are evolving as we speak. TA will be looking at hopefully helping us, because this is something that's happened throughout the state. We still have not heard anything from TA, but they have put some information out that they're going to be looking at how they can help the school districts, because the attendance with what's going on, it's really difficult to control. Any questions on that? Okay, the other thing that you have there is the utility report. We are doing good with the utility report. our percentages are favorable on the expenditure side, so we continue to do well. We signed a contract with TASB. I think I just signed it, and superintendent signed it. It's gonna go up to 2034, I think. It's amazing, 34, yeah. 2034, that contract's gonna go up to that year, and we were able to get a set rate, and I think it's below 5 pennies, which is excellent compared to what the market is. So we're gonna be set for a long time. So we were able to do that. So that's gonna help our utilities and at least have a constant rate for a long time. The other thing are the gas. We also have signed a contract for the gasoline and diesel with TASB, and that one's for a year, but we are getting a good rate on that too. So the utility was also good. The tax collections continue to do well. We're almost at a 2%, collecting more than last year. So our tax collection continues to be strong in the collection of the taxes. So, and then you see the investment report. As you see there, when you look at the numbers, you see the big increase when they compare to last year, and that's because our fund balance went up. That money in fund balance that you see there, we are in a three-year phase. I'm hoping that once we're done with it, I'm hoping that we will be close to $60 or $70 million when we're done with the ESSER funds and everything that we're required to do. There's a lot of compliance reports that we're required to do, and we're hoping that we'll be there. Attendance, it's a big problem. There's really nothing that we can do at this point. And I think that's gonna be something that's gonna be discussed by the state legislators when they start looking at the next biennium, because this is something that's happening in every single school district across the and it's a national issue. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Are there any questions?
Questions? No, sir? Thank you. We will now move to action items. Number 1, consideration and possible approval of a resolution to permit unused COVID sick leave to be utilized by employees as local leave. Mr. Mijares?
Yes, Mr. President, this agenda item I brought forth to the board because there is or has been a lot of confusion on employees when they can use their COVID days. That's due to certain restrictions that EOC had before. We were more flexible at the beginning with using COVID days than towards right now. So I think that it's something that I want the board to consider, is that to any unused COVID days to be considered to be local days. That way, when an employee hasn't used their COVID days, we are not asking for extra COVID days. Just any employee that saved their COVID days and they haven't used them, if they have a balance, for them to be changed over to local days.
So if you still have 3 days, are they going to be converted to just 3 local days, or
They're going to be converted to local days, just the balance.
just the balance of what
Yes.
you didn't use?
That way, they don't expire, or it gives the employee more flexibility that if later they get sick or COVID continues towards next year, they can save those days, because I think everybody has been very careful with their leave right now, because we don't know, how long we can be out if we get COVID and we don't react to it good.
Will they be?
So,
I'm sorry.
Mr. Mijares, just to clarify, if an employee had those 10 COVID days and they were not used because they did not get COVID, they took care of themselves, what have you, they saved those 10 days, then we're going to be able to reward them and give them back those 10 days so they can use for their personal benefit how they wish.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, if the employees saved their days, if they took care of themselves, they're wearing a mask, and they didn't get COVID, now.
They were fortunate
sometimes
enough
they're
not to.
fortunate enough, because sometimes You know, we get COVID, I mean, we all have different situations where we get exposed. If they got fortunate enough not to get COVID, they will, and they haven't used any COVID days, or they haven't used any days at all because they took care of themselves, they do get those 10 days.
And in this instance, they will be able to use it as personal days or to take care of other loved ones that do have COVID?
Yes, that gives the employer a lot more flexibility, that if a child at home has COVID, they can stay behind, or a parent, a grandparent, or so forth.
So they will be carried over and there won't be COVID days anymore. They'll just be.
Yes, with this action, we are eliminating the COVID days, because they're going to become local days.
Local days.
And these are the same days we give back in 2019, I believe. And remember, something very important, that this is a federal mandate that expired a year ago.
Right.
Okay? We're not supposed to, or we're not obligated to give the employees these days, because that federal statute expired. But as talking to many of our board members of being employee-friendly, you know, we want our employees to have all the resources that are possible and all the flexibility that it's available. So I think this will give a great flexibility to our employees, and that way, if they, for any reason, had to stay home and they couldn't use a COVID day, and they had a good reason before, this gives their days that they used back.
And legally, we're good.
Absolutely.
All right. And then is there a motion?
I so move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Any other questions or comments? If not, all in favor? All opposed? Same sign. Motion passes, unanimous.
I'd just like to thank our superintendent and our legal team for
Bringing this up.
and helping as best we can under the situation. So thank you.
I agree, because in most other businesses, you lose them and that's it. So this is a very good gesture, something very good for our employees. Number 2, consideration and possible approval of an update to policy DEC, local, increasing available local leave days.
Yes, item 1 is going to more than likely trigger in some employees that they might have to lose their days or get them at a half rate, because the maximum the local policy allows right now is for them to have 45 days. So many employees already have 45 days. So we give them 10 extra days, it defeats the purpose for us to give them those days, because they can't use them in the future. So I'm increasing those local days, the maximum they can have without that expiration is to 60 days. That way, they can keep these days for as long as they need to, and it won't affect them losing the days or having to have a half rate on those days. Mr. Mijares has something to say.
Correct.
So we're increasing, like the superintendent said, we're increasing the 60 days and the cap, and then we're also increasing from 45 to 60. When they retire, then we can pay up to 60, not 45. That way, if they don't use it, they don't use it.
Correct. Makes sense.
Yes, and just to advise everybody, if anybody didn't hear, now the employees have the flexibility to cash out those 60 days when they retire. Okay? Before, I think before it was 30 days. And then we increased it to 45, now we are increasing to 60.
Very good. With that in mind, do we have a motion?
So move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes unanimous. Thank you. Number 3, consider and take appropriate action on the request to approve the E-rate year 25 FY 2022 application. Mr. Mijares?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is E-rate year 25. This is something we bring to the board because we have to apply for federal funds for our technology department, and we have Mr. Camarillo to have any questions, or I don't know if you have anything to say to the board.
In this particular process, we bring Category 1 on a yearly basis. That's how we get our subsidy from the FCC through USAC to be able to pay for our internet service, both internally, what we call our WAN, and externally, our internet, right? We do this on a yearly basis for Category 1, and you have 2 items there. And then we also have every 5 years an allotment based on our economically disadvantaged student population. And in the last 5 years, we got about a little bit over $3 million. So we are proposing through this request for proposals that we want to update some of our infrastructure, and we're proposing for a $1.7 million project, of which E-rate would pay $1.369 million, and the district's responsibility would be $342,000. So as you can see, that would be a fantastic deal for us to update our infrastructure, our switches, our Wi-Fi. Actually, this particular one is only for switches in our network. And so we're asking, with the contingency that if funds are not available, then the project wouldn't move forward. But if the funds are available in the next fiscal year, a total of $342,000, then we would move forward the project. And like I said, E-rate would pay 1.3, almost 1.4 million, and the district will only pay a little bit over 340,000. So we'd ask for your consideration in this project.
So this is an application, not a request for proposals.
No, we already did the request for proposal. We already got the proposals here, but then we have to bring it to the board because the portion that we are financially responsible for has to be approved by the board because it exceeds the $50,000 mark.
But we first have to they have to approve it, E-rate, the application.
The application itself has already been approved by
Okay.
USAC, and they are moving forward the proposal, but it's now our turn here at the district level to present to you to see if we can move forward with the proposal, and that's would be for next school year.
So right now is to approve the 300,
Yes,
Okay.
to approve the commitment for 42,000, contingent that there is funding next year at the district level. If there is no funding, for whatever reason, then the project doesn't have to necessarily move forward.
well, for that amount, which is, I mean, they're
Yeah,
giving us quite a bit of money. There will be
It's a
funding. I
no-brainer,
say
but I do have to
we make
mention that
funding.
because sometimes it's like, well, what if there is no funding? Well, there is a contingency plan, and in case, for whatever reason, it doesn't happen.
I say we find funding. for
And we
this. Very
don't
good.
lose the funding, like, for example, if we can't do it, as long as it's within the 5-year time limit, and this is year number 4, so we would have an additional year to actually expend those monies. So we wouldn't lose the money, just an FYI.
I think the motion should be to approve and to authorize to find the money.
Thank you.
Mr. Mijares has just said that he will find the money.
Good,
Right.
good. It's great. I mean,
Right.
And
you said it's 80/20?
He's very nice about E-rate, so, I mean, because it's to our benefit. Like I said, it happens every 5 years, and it fluctuates based on the economically disadvantaged and based on the funding each campus is appropriated. Sometimes it's anywhere between 18 to 22, 23% that the district is responsible for. So it just depends.
Well, then, I'd like to make that motion to
Thank you.
approve and find the funding, so. We have a motion. Do we have a second? There we go. Questions, comments? If not, all in favor?
Thank you so much.
All opposed, motion passes. Number 4, consider and take appropriate action on the request to approve the donation of 1 John Deere lawn tractor, 2 weed eaters trimmers, and 1 leaf blower to Ray H. Star Elementary from Lowe's for the maintenance of school grounds. Mr. Mijares?
Thank you, Mr. President. We partner with Lowe's on several projects around the district. It has been a little bit slow due to the pandemic, so we haven't gotten together on partnering, maintenance and Lowe's because of the pandemic or exposure or so forth. But they were very generous in providing a brand new John Deere tractor. It was brand new. All of these items were brand new, and they were delivered to Radar Elementary so they can take care of the grounds.
And please, on behalf of the board and Radar, thank Lowe's for their contribution and donation. It is an action item, so do we have a motion?
I so move. And
Yep.
I'd like to also comment that Lowe's has been very generous every year with us, so, and especially, I know they help Eagle Pass High School and several other schools. They've been a great asset to our school district, so thank you very much, Lowe's.
Thank you. We do have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Trustee Fuentes? Questions, comments? If not, all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes unanimous. We will now move to closed session, and the Board of Trustees of the Eagle Pass Independent School District will convene in closed session as authorized by the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, to deliberate upon the following matters. Number one, the board will hear the request to hire a professional employee to serve as Eagle Pass High School head counselor, subject to possible future reassignments by the superintendent, TGC 551.074. Number two, the board will hear the request to hire personnel to fill vacancies pursuant to TGC 551.074. Do I have a motion to convene in closed session?
So moved.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second by Dr. Alvarez. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. The time is 6:23 and the date is Tuesday, January 11th, 2022, and the Board of Trustees is now in closed session. No action will be taken in closed session. Six 6:40 and the date is Tuesday, January 11th, 2022, and the Board of Trustees of the Eagle Pass Independent School District is now in open session, and we will move to item 9, number 1. 8, number 1. Consider and take appropriate action on the request to hire a professional employee to serve as Eagle Pass High School head counselor, subject to possible future reassignment by the superintendent.
I move to approve the hiring of Connie L. Sanchez as professional employee to serve as Eagle Pass High School head counselor, subject to possible future reassignment by the superintendent.
We have a motion by Ms. Purcell. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Martinez. Questions, comments? If not, all in favor? All opposed? The motion passes unanimous. Number 2, consider and take appropriate action on the request to hire personnel to fill vacancies pursuant to TGC 551.074.
Mr. President, I move to approve the request to hire personnel to fill vacancies pursuant to TGC 551.074 as discussed in closed session.
We have a motion by Mr. Perry. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hiller. Questions, comments? If not, all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes unanimous. Mr. Mijares, do we have any information, any updates?
Yes, just reminders, Friday, January 14th, or this Friday, we will have the Stock Show Cowboy Breakfast at 7 in the morning. Let us know if you will be needing any tickets. Also, all campuses and district's offices, including tax office, will be closed on January 21st, or next Friday. That's our Stock Show holiday. Also, a reminder that the governance camp is March 2nd through the 5th in Galveston, and let us know if you would like to attend.
Perfect. Thank you. If there is nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
A motion, do we have a second? Second. We have a second. Dr. Alvarez. All in favor? No se quiere ir. Motion passes. Meeting is adjourned. Have a great night.